I hear your optimism, and maybe some are more cautious than you. But let me ask you this. All things considered, given the rebound that we're seeing in the economy, as you've stated, where do you see the most growth for your business in terms of trying to drive your loan growth in 2021?
Well, loan growth, let me put it this way. We are, the banking industry, not just Zenith, we are making very steady progress with respect to retail and SME loan. And what is driving it is the improvement and steady development in the payment system. Right now, you can access loan. You can access a USSD loan using, once you have a phone, you want to get a loan of 10,000 naira, you can get it from Zenith right away. You don't need to have any application. So that is helping to promote access to credit for the SMEs and the financially excluded before. So we are seeing that, and I'm watching my numbers, I'm seeing that, I'm tracking it and seeing some steady growth in that space, which is very good for consumption. If we can have access to credit for the SMEs, for the lower rungs, those in the lower rungs of the ladder, then we'll be able to uplift aggregate consumption. Then looking at the bigger numbers, one will say, which are the sectors that account for the quick exit from recession? You see, agri was mentioned. Services were mentioned. And talking about services, one other burgeoning area for us is the upcoming of digital technology, digital entrepreneurship. So you see that accelerating. I'm looking forward to a time where we get to that point where we can begin to have some software development, some software being developed in Nigeria, and we can acquire it. We acquire it, we don't need to go to India, we don't need to go to Europe to acquire it. So I see services picking up, especially ICT. Agric is there, and with oil price firming up, which means, as it were, positive creation into our reserve by extension, more foreign exchange being available. So hopefully the risk sector will continue to pick up.
Right. I'm happy you mentioned the oil sector because I was going to go to that next. And if we track what was happening 10 months ago, I think many are surprised at where we're at now in terms of where the oil price is. Some are even suggesting that we could see $80 a barrel. And I wonder how that is likely to impact your loan book and your exposure in general to the oil and gas space.
Well, I think the exposure in oil and gas space, we've had so much commentaries on that. Initially in 2014, 2015, the concern was there will be a bloodbath. But what that does for us is that it will strengthen the loan books with respect to the exposures we have. That will mean improved cash flow for as long as they can produce. But again, bear in mind that we are also constrained by OPEC 25% production cut. So if you look at the price, what I like to do is whatever price is there, I discount it by 25%. That will give me the pre-COVID price level of oil. So 65% 60 oil is good, but what the most important thing is the sentiment it drives for business. The sentiment it drives that for a country like Nigeria, things are getting better, improvement in our reserve. But when it goes down, that's where we start having, concerns here and there, and all kinds of commentaries come up, or to what extent will it impact our revenue. So I think it's good for us, it's positive for the economy, and it signals a very good incentive for the fiscal and monetary authorities to really continue with all the initiatives about backward integration, hedging against a future without oil.
Obviously, the oil market and the economy in general is one of the biggest challenges for the government in Nigeria right now. But clearly, another big one has been the insecurity in the country, incidents of kidnapping and general insecurity. And I wanted you to just reflect on that. How do you see that evolving given the events that we have seen over the last few months?
Well, I think government is doing the right thing. They are making the right engagement, and it's not good for business, but you can see what is being done, that government is paying particular attention. You can see the networking among state government to address restiveness with respect to how these things are happening. I believe if the efforts are stepped up, these challenges can be contained.